Okay everyone, let's get started. Today we are making white chocolate fruit blondies. I've made this dessert, I don't know, 5-6 times. It never gets old. Why? Because it tastes delicious and everybody loves it. So let's get cracking. First things first, 1 cup of butter or margarine. If you want this dessert to taste the way I make it taste all the time, I use Land O'Lakes butter. There's lots of butter manufacturers out there, but Land O'Lakes, to me, is the best. And it's the lightly salted butter. Okay? Now, we're going to put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds because I let it soften here earlier today. Get my fingers all buttery here. This dessert can be used for holidays, Sundays, Saturdays, any day that ends with the word day. This dessert can be used. Wait, I see the egg trying to roll off. Okay. Now, because I made this dessert so many times, I left my countertop visible. Normally I bring it in this time. This is just me and the dessert. So while our butter is softening or melting almost, we're going to get our 1 cup of white chocolate chips ready. And my fingers are buttery, so excuse me if it takes a minute. Let's measure around 1 cup. You may find different brands of chocolate chips, but again, if you want this dessert to taste the same as my dessert, you will get Nestle Premier White Morsels. Let's check on that butter here. Wait, we have a special guest walking behind the camera. That's my daughter, who's watching the show, and she's yelling, "Cut!" But it is not time to cut. Okay, morsels ready. Next step, 2 cups of packed brown sugar. Now here's the catch. Brown sugar is not as sweet as white sugar, as we all know. And this dessert is not a very sweet dessert. But it'll keep you coming back, okay? Get this brown sugar. Now here's something that's going to make you wonder what I do with the brown sugar. Brown sugar has a way of clumping up due to the moisture. I need some scissors here. I just came back from the market, so I'm not totally prepared. Okay. The white morsels will stick in there for right now. 2 cups of brown sugar. 2 cups of brown sugar makes it taste a little bit bland. So we're going to go 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And the other 1/2 cup is going to be none other than white sugar. That is what makes my recipe famous. Okay. Brown sugar is going to go in here. And because it clumps sometime, we're going to strain this brown sugar. Now some of you may say, oh, that's just a bit excessive. Nothing is excessive when you're making an elite dessert such as this one. Now, if my assistant back there staring at the camera really wanted to help, she could stand behind the camera and press the pause button. And here she comes, but you will never see her. Press pause 1 time. Okay, we're back in action, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I sifted all of that brown sugar. I threw the clumps away, but actually I can show you. These are some of the clumpy balls of brown sugar that we don't need in our dessert. So, this is all sifted brown sugar. It's that extra step that makes my dessert the best. Now, I had to put the butter back inside because the butter is going to melt the white morsels. See that hot steamy butter? Let me watch my fingertips. Alright? This is going to form its own blend that you cannot buy in the store. This is the footwork that makes my dessert so delicious as well. We're going to churn this up back and forth as not to make a mess, but until the white chocolate morsels are all melted inside the butter. Now this dish will cause you to mess up a lot of pots and pans and serving dishes, but it's so delicious, I tell you, when you taste it. Now you see the consistency, we have a little bit more to go. We have some big clump balls in there. We're going to keep stirring that up. Get it nice and melted. Okay. Now, almost there. Now my assistant can press the pause button again for me. Eliminate me doing a lot of walking around here. Okay, we're back in action. We have a nice blend of the butter and the white chocolate morsels. There we go. We're going to take those. There's a little bit of extra moisture in here. We're going to dump that in the sink. We're going to add our sugar and our butter together. So in we go. The butter with the white morsels. The half a cup of white sugar that I do not have to sift because white sugar is pretty much dry. We're going to add that into our butter mixture. All right. We have our handy dandy blender right here. I make this dessert so much I blew out a blender making it. And it says for us to mix in the butter and the sugar and beat the eggs in as well. Now the eggs are going to be beaten in one at a time. There's not much I can tell you about the blending process because it's just a normal blender. But I'll blend it until the consistency looks like kind of like oatmeal. If you can see here for a minute. Don't know if you can see that. Looks kind of like oatmeal. And it's going to be a little bit lumpy, but a smooth lumpy, if that makes any sense. Now we're going to beat in our eggs one at a time. So I will turn this off because I'm right-handed, not left-handed. We're beating in our eggs one at a time. And as we beat the eggs, they become smoother and smoother. And we're about halfway done now. Normally I would edit this part out, but we're going to go ahead on and save a little time here. I'll only let you see me beat 2 eggs because beating 2 or 4, the process is the same. Now, okay, I took a break there. We have this mix all mixed up. What we need to do now is work on our flour. I'm going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour into my bowl over here. And I will also add a ½ teaspoon of baking powder. I will take a whisk that goes to some other device that I cannot find now. But I have a trusty handy one. And I will mix the flour with the baking powder very, very nicely so my dessert will rise, of course. Over here, I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, McCormick pure vanilla extract. All these things make a difference when you're making this dessert because if you change any ingredient, you will change possibly the flavor and the taste of it. And well, I'm going to get with it. Now, my recipe says for me to start blending together the batter. Now, I'm going to slowly put this in. I don't think I missed anything. We're going to add it a little bit at a time. About half of the flour and baking powder mix. See here. I'm watching my fingers so I don't lose any of them. Okay, and I'll tell you, this dessert is one of the best. I haven't met a person that did not like it. And if you do not like it, then your taste buds are out of whack. And that's for sure. My oven is warming up at 325 degrees. I need to reset it again because we're almost ready. Now, I'll tell you my last secret to making this dessert in just a minute. I'm scanning my surface area to make sure that I added all the ingredients The butter, the chocolate, the brown sugar, the eggs, vanilla, flour powder. Oh, blueberries and raspberries. I have those right here. Time out. Okay, here we go. What we're gonna do is take this Pampered Chef stoneware baking pan. This is probably just as vital as the ingredients. My dessert does not burn at the bottom, and it cooks all the way through. And we're gonna pour this, and I may have to scoop some of this out there. Man, I'll tell you. Okay. Going to get all of this out of the bottom here because all of these little side areas, that's about another 2 white chocolate fruit blondies. So we don't want to waste anything here. Okay. I've scraped as much as I can. Let's cut that off. We're going to smooth this out in the pan because it will now rise due to our baking powder. Anybody who cooks knows that. And it's time for blueberries and raspberries. Now, I promise you I will wash this spoon after I do what I'm about to do. But you will not have to worry about the spoon. But I'm going to test it. Well, I won't do that. Okay. Blueberries give it its bitterness, which you would say, who wants a bitter dessert? It's not really bitter. They just give it a different taste there. Now we use 1 pint of blueberries and 2 pints of raspberries because raspberries are sweeter, as we all know. So, take my raspberries, sprinkle them around evenly. And these were a little bit smushed, but they're still fresh, so I could care less if they're smushed. And it's a nice combination when you bite into one of the Blondie squares that has raspberries and blueberries in that same bite. And we'll put some on the side here. I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, almost there. And a few more blueberries. I think I smushed the blueberries when I shook them up a little bit. But for all you blueberry lovers, I'll put some extra blueberries in there for you. Okay, I normally don't put that many blueberries in there. Okay, we shall never waste raspberries. That's not cool. And a few more moving around items here. And we have our dessert ready to be baked. Okay? And in the oven it will go for 1 hour on 325. I will see you in 1 hour or 50 minutes. Okay everyone, my timer is going off. I have my personal special spatula. Now let's take out these fruit blondies and see if they're ready. And it look, oh my goodness, that is some heat coming up out of there. My goodness. I should have been prepared. Now this looks wonderful. I don't even think I'll stick it back in there. Sometimes I put it back in there, but I did an excellent job at preheating. Now, what we also have is cookie cooling rack. This will house or hold my dessert. Now, let me do a test here. It looks a little bit kind of soft in the middle, but my sides look wonderful. Oh my goodness. We're gonna let this thing cool off. And I think that maybe, nope, you don't mess with perfection. So, stand by. We're going to let this dessert cool for 33 minutes and 33 seconds. And I will take a cut into that dessert. And this is what it's supposed to look like.